are your 1.5 million missing voters? Where are they, y'all? Because Florida has been disenfranchising people about, let's see, the 1.5 million people they've disenfranchised. And the reason why, are you ready? Because they've committed a crime. Now, when they say crime, understand what a crime is. A crime is everything from, say, you murdered someone, or you say we're driving with a suspended license, or say maybe you hadn't fully served your sentence and paid your quote unquote debt to society. These are all reasons why they are going to keep you from voting. So also understand that when they ban you from voting, it's in their constitution there in Florida. So it's for life. So they're just banning people for all kind of criminal, quote unquote, reasons down there in Florida to the tune of 1.5 million people. But there's a little sunlight on the horizon because there is a proposed constitutional amendment which hopes to get enough signatures to be placed on the ballot November so that they can stop that. They can get this off there and they can start to get some of these people from being disenfranchised, enfranchised.
Sometimes we do ourselves a disservice in saying we just have to get the right person in office and they'll fix things. And you see what happens. We had Obama for 8 years for those of us who supported his policies and politics. And there's not everything that he did I didn't support, right? Yeah, so there's some things that he did and I was just like, yeah, I don't support that. So it's not just about getting one individual person in, but it's also about having laws on the books. Now, I say this about racism and bigotry and stuff like this, Lorraine. I don't need you to like me.
No.
I don't need you to accept my blackness. I don't even need you. Because you
probably ain't going to anyway.
I don't need you to accept that I live next door to you. I don't need you to do any of that. What I need are protections and laws to prevent you from doing any harm to me, my business, my ability to prosper and exert my full rights and citizenship as an American citizen.
I need the laws to make sure that you're going to keep your racism at home so that it doesn't impact my life.
I'm not trying to make you like me. I'm not trying to make you like our kids, but I don't care about that.
No.
I don't care. I don't want you to like me. I don't want you to accept me. I don't want you to accept my brain. I don't need tolerance. I don't need tolerance. I don't need acceptance. I don't need any of that. What I need are laws on the books.
Right. To be equitably enforced, right?
Right.
Because this law is particularly as it pertains to Florida, this is right out of Reconstruction post-slavery, right? So we had, the end of slavery after the Civil War. We had Reconstruction, which is like not even a full solid decade of like Black advancement and civic engagement. And then we had redemption or whatever they call it, where the South was like, we're going to snatch that freedom back.
Right.
And so the many states after Reconstruction put in a number of laws and passed legislation that was going to be racially applied and was going to they were designed to prevent Black people from having access to the ballot, which was one of the fundamental issues that was being really challenged during the Reconstruction era. So this is a law that has it's firmly rooted. There's no ambiguity here. It is firmly rooted in racism, and I'm really glad to see that there is a petition, that this petition is going forward and that people are going to be are really supporting it, because it's imperative that not only, again, and we go beyond the voting booth, but getting access to the voting booth is important, because there are ripple effects. If there are people in your family who can't have access to the vote, it's going to negatively impact and suppress your ability to get your community organized and to get them engaged the way that they should be. So this is a good thing.
Now listen, folks, if you live in Florida, if you organize in Florida,
if your mama and them live in Florida,
if you got a cousin in Florida, whoever in Florida,
play cousin, auntie, whatever.
So in order for this to pass, right? So this has been approved and it will be on the ballot in November 2018. So when you go to the polls in November 6, 2018, it will be on the ballot if it gets enough signatures. Now, this is not something that you can sign online. I'm going to say that again. This is not something that you can sign online, right?
One more time for the people in the back.
This is not something that you can sign online. You can't use your Facebook account to sign it. You can't use your Twitter account. You can't use your dummy email address that you use to sign up for stuff so it doesn't go to you can't do that. Right? You actually have to physically sign a piece of paper whether or not there are organizers out in the street or out in your neighborhood getting people to sign the petition, or you can go to the website, which is Floridiansforfairdemocracy.com. You can print out the petition, you can sign it, and mail it.
This sounds like civic action and engagement to me.
This is the second civic action of the day.
Yes.
The second civic action of the day is for those of you who live in Florida, is to sign the petition to actually have the ballot question on the November 6th ballot.
Because if it's not on the ballot, you can't vote on it.
You can't vote for something that ain't on the ballot, honey. No. This is something, Floridians, that you need to make happen. Because right now what happens is the person has to actually petition.
Right.
To get their voting rights back.
Right.
And there have been some governors who've been open to that.
Right. Like in Virginia, like he signed,
Terry McAuliffe, yes.
168,000 petitions restoring voting rights. But that was person specific, because if it weren't him and it was a governor who was not in favor of restoring voting rights, you're not getting those petitions signed. You're not going to get those. So this is one of those things where it really, getting that one person in office, again, isn't the issue. It's having laws that are going to prevent disenfranchisement in an equitable way. Because trust, if they did not want Black people voting 10 years after slavery ended, and they still don't want Black people voting right now, like there are some threads of commonality there that we need to be exploring. So Florida, go to it, y'all. Y'all got a civic action that is easy and can be done.
Yeah, so you need 766,200 valid signatures.
That's doable.
That's doable, Florida.
Yes.
And the deadline for certification is February 1st. So you get up on it. All right. And make sure that this ballot question is on the ballot in Florida. And then after it's on the ballot, now you have to work to educate people and make sure that, we vote to change the state constitution.
So this is why, again, it's not just election day. Like owning and running your community requires 24/7 engagement.
So if you want something to do, Floridians, not only do you sign the petition, but maybe you put a few of them on a clipboard.
There you go.
This is a way to organize your community. Maybe you live in a building. Maybe you have a tenant association, as June mentioned. Put a couple of them on a clipboard and get your neighbors and your friends, cousins, friends, families, mama and them and everybody.
Exactly.
Who you could get to sign this. Put them all in an envelope and send them on.
There you go. That's doable, y'all.